A vast alien palace floating in a nebula-lit sky. Humans are rare here. The protagonist, a young human explorer named Ethan, is sent to negotiate trade and resources. Mysterious atmosphere. Ethan notices the palace guards behaving oddly, bowing but with fear in their eyes. Strange symbols glow faintly along the walls. Suspense builds as whispers of the alien queen's power circulate among the staff. First encounter. Ethan is brought into the grand throne room. The alien queen, Zyra, appears, taller than humans, with shimmering skin, eyes that seem to pierce his soul. Zyra studies Ethan with curiosity, asking him intimate questions about humans, emotions, and family. Ethan is uneasy. The audience feels the suspense. Small incidents escalate. Palace alarms, guards suddenly acting strangely, and Ethan feels like he is being tested rather than welcomed. Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Ethan's ship cut through the endless darkness of space, the stars stretching like tiny diamonds in the black void. His heart raced, but not from the thrill of flying. He had been chosen for a mission that no human had ever attempted, to negotiate with the ruler of a distant star system, the legendary alien Queen Zyra. His mission was simple in words: secure resources for Earth. In reality, he had no idea what awaited him. The palace came into view like a living crystal, floating above a planet wrapped in glowing clouds. Its towers shimmered with alien energy, bending light into colors that made Ethan's eyes ache. A sense of unease settled over him. Reports from previous explorers warned of Zyra's beauty, her power, and her unpredictability. None had ever failed to leave her palace alive, but some had returned changed forever. As his ship docked, guards, tall and sleek, with translucent skin, approached. They didn't speak but gestured him inside. Every step Ethan took seemed to echo in a hallway lined with glowing glyphs that shifted slightly, as if alive. He felt watched, judged. His hand hovered near his sidearm, though he knew it wouldn't help if trouble came. The throne room was even more intimidating. Towering ceilings stretched far above, adorned with floating crystals that hummed softly. In the center, on a platform of light, sat Zyra. She was more magnificent than any holographic image could capture. Her skin shimmered with subtle hues of silver and violet, her hair floated slightly, defying gravity, and her eyes seemed to pierce right into Ethan's soul. For a long moment, no one spoke. Ethan swallowed hard, trying to appear calm. Zyra leaned forward, tilting her head slightly, studying him. Her silence was heavier than any words could be. The guards seemed tense, as if even they feared what might happen next. Finally, Zyra spoke, her voice melodic but carrying an unshakable authority. "You are human," she said simply. "Yes, Your Majesty," Ethan replied, bowing. A faint smile curved her lips. "Curious creatures, humans, so fragile, yet so resilient. Tell me, Ethan, what do you seek in this galaxy?" He hesitated, then answered cautiously, "Resources. Trade, knowledge, peace." Zyra's smile widened, but it didn't reach her eyes. "And yet, I sense something deeper. Something you do not tell others, fear? Hope? Loneliness?" Ethan blinked. How could she know? He had barely spoken. His pulse quickened. Was this some psychic ability? Or merely a test? Suddenly, a loud chime echoed through the room. Guards stiffened. Zyra raised a hand, and the sound ceased instantly. "Do not fear," she said. "They are simply observant. I wish to know you, Ethan. You are far from home, far from safety, yet you came willingly. That is rare." As she spoke, Ethan noticed small movements in the room. Symbols glowing brighter along the walls, the crystals pulsing like hearts. Every part of the palace seemed alive, as if it were responding to Zyra's mood. Ethan's mind spun. He was here to negotiate trade, yet somehow, he felt like he had entered a place where human rules no longer applied. Hours passed as they spoke. Zyra asked about his home, his life, his dreams. She laughed softly at his attempts to explain Earth's oddities. Slowly, Ethan began to understand. Zyra was not just a ruler. She was curious, lonely, and searching for something beyond her throne. Yet, the tension never left the air. He felt that at any moment, one misstep could be fatal. Then came the moment that would change everything. Zyra stood, her towering figure casting a shadow that seemed to stretch across the entire room. She stepped closer to Ethan, and the air felt charged, almost electric. "I can give you a child, human," she said. Ethan froze. His mind stuttered. Did she just offer him a child? His first thought was disbelief. His second was fear. And the third, curiosity. You, what? He managed to stammer. Zyra's gaze softened. I can merge our life forces, create a being that carries both your species and mine. One that could live in both worlds, survive both suns, and, perhaps, change the galaxy. Ethan took a step back. Why me? His voice shook. Why would you even choose a human for this? Zyra's smile was faint, almost sad. Because you are different, brave, intelligent, adaptable. And perhaps, because you are alone, yet strong enough to face a future that others cannot imagine. The room went silent. Ethan could hear his own heartbeat. Thoughts raced in his mind. This is impossible. I don't even know if I want this. If it's dangerous? What if I lose my life? Zyra seemed to sense his turmoil. She extended her hand slightly, glowing faintly with alien energy. The process is safe, but irreversible. If you refuse, you will leave, yes. But our people may never forgive your hesitation. If you accept, you will carry a bond beyond comprehension. One that could unite or destroy worlds. Ethan's mind flashed to his family back on Earth. Could he bear the weight of carrying the first human alien child? Could he face the possibility that the universe itself might judge him for this choice? I need time, he whispered. Zyra's eyes narrowed slightly, but she did not frown. You have little time. The stars wait for no one. Think carefully, Ethan. Your decision will echo across the galaxy. The palace seemed to shift around him as he tried to process her words. Guards watched silently. Crystals pulsed faster, and the air hummed with tension. For the first time, Ethan realized that this mission was no longer about trade. It was about survival, morality, and the unknown. Late that night, alone in his quarters, Ethan stared out at the nebula-lit sky. His thoughts were chaotic. He recalled Zyra's face, her voice, the strange energy that surrounded her. He could not sleep. Every choice he made now felt monumental. Every second mattered. A soft knock came at his door. Hesitant, he opened it. Zyra stood there, her expression calm but commanding. Time is short, she said. Do not let fear cloud judgment. Sometimes, the impossible is the only path forward. With that, she left, leaving Ethan alone with the weight of a choice that could change everything, his life, his species, and perhaps the fate of the entire galaxy. He sank into a chair, staring at the stars. The offer replayed in his mind. I can give you a child, human. His heart raced. His mind screamed warnings, but deep down, a part of him wondered, what if this was not a threat? What if it was the opportunity of a lifetime? Suddenly, an alarm blared through the palace. Lights flickered, the ground shook slightly. Ethan's instincts kicked in. He grabbed his communicator, ready for danger. A guard appeared at his door, panicked. Human, the chamber. Someone is trying to stop the process. Ethan froze. Someone was trying to sabotage this? Was it another alien faction? Were they against Zyra? Against him? The screen of his communicator glowed red. Security alerts flashed. He had no choice now. He could not simply walk away. Not yet. And then, he heard Zyra's voice in his mind, faint but firm. Decide, human, or the galaxy may decide for you. Ethan's pulse thundered in his ears. He looked at the stars, at the glowing palace around him, and realized that his life, and perhaps all life, was about to chong. Forever. Ethan's hands trembled as the alarms blared through the palace. His mind raced, struggling to weigh the impossible choice before him. To accept Zyra's proposal could change the course of human history, or end in catastrophe. To refuse could mean losing the chance to unite two species forever. He ran to the observation deck, overlooking the glowing palace grounds. Crystals pulsed with energy, and the air shimmered with the alien presence of Zyra's power. Somewhere in the labyrinthine halls, guards and palace staff moved like shadows, their faces tense. Someone had triggered the alarms. Sabotage was underway. Ethan's communicator buzzed. Zyra's voice filled it, calm but urgent. Ethan, the time has come. You must choose. Stand with me, or step aside and face what comes. He swallowed hard. Fear, curiosity, and duty warred within him. He could hear the faint hum of the alien chambers, the heartbeat of the palace itself, urging him forward. He realized then that hesitation could be fatal. With a deep breath, he made his decision. I'll do it, he whispered, voice trembling but firm. Immediately, the palace seemed to react. Crystals glowed brighter, symbols along the walls flaring with alien light. The alarms faded, replaced by a low resonating hum. Ethan felt a strange warmth coursing through him, as if the palace itself acknowledged his choice. Zyra appeared beside him, her presence overwhelming but comforting. "Follow me," she commanded, and without waiting, led him through corridors that twisted and shimmered in impossible ways. Time and space seemed to bend as they moved. Ethan's head spun, but he did not resist. Finally, they reached a grand chamber. It was vast, filled with crystalline structures that floated mid-air, pulsing with a soft, ethereal light. Strange plants grew along the walls, glowing faintly, and a shallow pool of liquid shimmered in the center. Zyra gestured for him to stand at the edge. "This is the chamber of life," she explained. "Here, bonds are formed. DNA can merge safely, and the child we create will carry the strengths of both species." Ethan's mind whirled. How could this even be possible? Science, as he understood it, had limits. Yet the air around him crackled with possibility, and he could feel Zyra's energy brushing against him, a tangible force that defied reason. "Will it hurt?" he asked, voice shaking. Zyra shook her head, her expression softening. "The process is not pain, human. It is connection. You will feel visions, emotions, glimpses of the child's potential. It is overwhelming, yes, but not dangerous." He nodded, swallowing his fear. He had come too far to turn back now. The bonding process. Zyra stepped closer, placing a glowing hand on Ethan's chest. He felt a surge of energy, like electricity flowing through his veins, warm and alive. Colors danced in his vision. He saw a vast galaxy, stars exploding, civilizations rising and falling. And then, he saw the child. It was not yet born, but he could feel its presence, its heartbeat in sync with his own. The child's eyes, a mix of human warmth and alien brilliance, stared at him, curious and innocent. A wave of emotions crashed over him: love, fear, hope, and responsibility. "You see now," Zyra whispered. "This child is not just ours. It is the bridge between worlds. It can survive suns that would kill humans, feel emotions deeper than any alien can, and perhaps, unite our species in ways we cannot yet imagine." Ethan's vision shifted. He saw Earth, cities bustling, people living unaware that the galaxy itself hung in the balance. He saw Zyra's planet, vibrant and strange, full of beauty and danger. And between them floated the child, glowing, a symbol of hope and uncertainty. The visions faded. Ethan gasped, sweat beading on his forehead. "It's incredible," he breathed. Zyra nodded. "Yes, but it is fragile. There are those who would see this child destroyed, fearing the change it represents." The unexpected attack. Before Ethan could ask what she meant, the chamber trembled violently. Crystals cracked and shattered mid-air, releasing bursts of energy that singed the edges of the room. Shadows moved at impossible speed. A faction of alien warriors, loyal to those who opposed Zyra's vision, had infiltrated the palace. "Protect the process," Zyra shouted, raising her hands. Waves of energy erupted from her, throwing attackers back with bursts of shimmering light. Ethan ducked instinctively, but a tendril of energy brushed his arm, filling him with warmth rather than pain. He realized the bonding process made him stronger, more attuned to the alien energy around him. The intruders regrouped, attacking in waves. Ethan acted on instinct, using his human ingenuity and quick thinking. He moved objects, creating barriers, directing Zyra's energy with her guidance. Together, they were a perfect team, human unpredictability and alien power. Amid the chaos, Ethan glimpsed the child again. It pulsed with energy, responding to their combined strength. Somehow, the child itself seemed to aid them, amplifying Zyra's power, guiding Ethan's movements. Finally, after a tense struggle, the last intruder was thrown back, defeated. The chamber was silent again, save for the low hum of the crystals. Ethan collapsed onto a bench, heart racing. Zyra approached him, her expression unreadable. "You did well," she said simply. Most humans would have panicked. Ethan could only nod, still trembling from adrenaline. I never expected any of this. I thought it would be simpler." Zyra's lips curved in a faint smile. "Nothing worth doing is simple, human. You have shown courage, intelligence, and empathy. The child will be lucky to have you as a parent." The emotional connection. Hours passed. The chamber calmed, the crystal's light softening. Ethan sat with Zyra, learning about her life, her people, and the loneliness that came with power. For the first time, he saw her not as a queen, but as a being with hopes, fears, and desires. "I've ruled for centuries," Zyra admitted softly. "Yet I have never known companionship like this. Perhaps that is why I chose you. Not for your strength, but for your heart." Ethan felt a warmth in his chest. He had spent his life searching for meaning, for connection. And now, in the heart of an alien palace, he had found it, not just in Zyra, but in the promise of a new life, a child that could change the universe. He reached out, taking her hand. I don't know what the future holds. But I trust you. I trust this, us. Zyra's eyes glimmered with gratitude and something deeper, almost like hope. Then let us see what we can create together. The first step toward a new life, the bonding process, concluded, leaving Ethan and Zyra physically drained but emotionally connected. They could feel the child within them, a heartbeat echoing between worlds, a spark of life that carried the potential to reshape the galaxy. Ethan gazed at Zyra, realizing that their fates were now intertwined. This is bigger than anything I imagined. I just hope we're ready. Zyra nodded. Readiness is irrelevant. The universe moves forward with or without us. What matters is that we act with courage and wisdom. And you have both, human. Outside the chamber, the palace was calm once more. Guards and staff began repairing the damage, murmuring about the bravery of the human who had stood beside their queen. Word would spread quickly. The human chosen by Zyra, the first of his kind to bond with the alien queen. Ethan walked to the observation deck, staring at the stars once more. He thought of Earth, of his home, of the life he had left behind. And yet, he no longer felt fear. He felt purpose. Somewhere, deep within him, he sensed the child already stirring, curious, alive, and full of potential. The galaxy was vast, filled with danger and beauty. But for the first time, Ethan believed that perhaps humans and aliens could share it together.